Hello, seventh grade, and happy Friday to you. It's a beautiful day out there. Hope you get out to enjoy it. Just remember, tomorrow is the second attempt to launch the Dragon rocket into space to try to get our two American astronauts up to the International Space Station. I believe the launch time is set for 3:22 Eastern Standard Time, weather permitting again. Thank you for everyone who tried to join us in a Zoom to watch that live launch. It did not occur because of weather, but that's space travel for you. Hey, I want to talk about color blindness today. Excuse me. And we're going to start with a color blindness test. Just give an idea what you're looking at. There are different types of color blindness. One is called like a red, blue, green. And then there's another one. Pronunciation is, I'll show you the word. Pronunciation of the word is, it's like this long. I don't want to butcher it. So we're going to show you a color blindness test here. And what you can see is I'm answering them. I'm looking at this and I'm clicking the numbers that I see. And if you don't see any numbers, well, this might be eye-opening for you. Because what we're doing is there is an embedded number inside of here. And if you're not seeing the colors red, different shades of reds, greens, or blues, you wouldn't be able to see this outline number, that 8 or this 4. Also, the other type of color blindness is basically everything is sort of gray, so everything would look gray anyhow. But sometimes people will only not be able to see like the blues. So this one they may not be able to see, but that green one they could. I actually can't really see that one that well. That looks like a 5. But if you have color blindness for red, you wouldn't be able to see this. You'd be able to see all the greens, but not the red color that was there. So this is testing for the blue, green, and red color blindness. This is the more common one here. We'll just finish this. 7, 5, I think. There's a green. If you couldn't see the color green, it would all look gray. Here is testing the red. If you can see shades of red. I'm not sure what that one is. There's a 7. That's a shade of green they're testing. This purple is that shade of blue or red. One more. All right. I will view my results. I have normal color vision. All right. Here was one thing I wanted to see what people do see. So this is Dutan color blindness. You notice that this person does not see the color red. Everywhere's red here is gone. The green isn't as good, as clear as sharp. And you can see this light green turns into a yellow, and that red turns into a red. So if you said to grab the red one, they wouldn't be able to see that. Stop signs, things like that, stop lights would be difficult. Here's the other one. And this is what I was saying. Achromatopsia. Protan. Here you can see this background here. This pink is turned out to a gray. The reds are. Here you get a little bit of this pink. And then this achromopsia. Sure. It's totally grayed out. There's no color whatsoever. You can see this just all black and white. So you see there's some different variations in color blindness. And here are some different confusing colors. If something is pink, as you can see like here, it turns into a gray. These purpley colors turns into a blue. Green turns into a brown, and this red turns into a brown as well. Okay, so it is a sex-linked trait, and I've set up a Punnett square here, and it is on the x-axis. So we'll put mom on top, and we'll put dad on the side. All right, and we're going to have capital C. What's it? Normal vision. Not that there's really anything such as normal, but for the sake of this, capital C, normal vision, not colorblind, and a lowercase c, colorblind of some kind. All right, so we know now that because the male only has one X chromosome, they are more likely to be colorblind than females. I believe it's 1 in 25 to 1 in 200, I think, is the numbers. So this is going to be a female. Female. Male. Male. Now we got to figure out what we want mom and dad to be. Let's make mom a carrier. So she's capital C, lowercase c, and dad is not colorblind. Capital C or G. So capital C, capital C, capital C, capital C, capital C, lowercase c, capital C, lowercase c, capital C, lowercase c here. So in this case, if you have a female daughter, there is a 100% chance that they will not be colorblind. There's a 50% chance so they're going to be a carrier. Here's our heterozygous. She inherited this colorblind trait here, although since the dominant trait is there, you won't see that. If you have a boy, it's a 50-50 chance whether they'll be colorblind or not. Capital C from here, lowercase c from here. So colorblindness is also a sex-linked trait, and that's why there are more males that are colorblind than females, because males only have one X chromosome and they have a Y. So with our females, they have two opportunities to get a dominant gene, which would then void out the recessive gene, where the males only have one opportunity. So color blindness, if you're a male, is more likely than if you were a female, but it could happen. In what situation could it happen that the daughter is colorblind? Can you think of what that might be? Because I know. It would have to be, well, it could be X even if mom isn't, if mom is heterozygous, capital C, lowercase c, but dad is colorblind, it is possible. Because here we're going to get a capital C, we're going to get a female, and we're going to get a dominant and a recessive. Dominant and a recessive. Here, we're going to get a female, and since mom's a carrier, we're going to get a lowercase c from mom and a lowercase c from dad. Now, what about the children? Boys, rather. X, Y, X, Y, capital C from mom determines that's going the wrong way, and lowercase c. So in this case, if dad is colorblind and mom is a carrier, it's a 50-50 chance for the boys and for the girls. So no matter what you have, because you're getting this recessive trait from mom and you're only going to get that from dad. What would happen if both mom and dad were colorblind? Like if this daughter here met a colorblind man with lowercase c, what would happen then? Let's find out. So you have our colorblind daughter. And if you want to pause the video and figure this out on your own, or maybe you already know because you're an expert now on Punnett squares, like I'm an expert on drawing on this. All right, so colorblind daughter, lowercase c, colorblind dad. What's going to happen to all the children? I don't think we have to figure out, we don't have to fill out the square. Once you see this set up, everyone's passing on the lowercase c, which means there's 100% chance that all the children will be colorblind as well. Because all there is recessive traits around, no matter what, boys or girls. Okay. Well, that pretty much wraps up our genetics. There's one little piece that we're not going to go over because it's really not super necessary. Well, it's necessary. What am I going to say is not necessary, but that we're going to do together. Let's go to genetics. And all this we did. There's just another way of representing this, and it's called pedigree. I'm in edit mode here. Pedigree. And it's a different way of representing it. An open circle, a female that does not display the trait. So that would be homozygous for whatever, capital H, or capital C. If it's half filled in, it does not display the trait, but is a carrier. So this would be our heterozygous female. Heterozygous. If a female that displays the trait, like our lowercase, it's filled in all the way. For a male that does not display the case, okay, this is all for sex-linked traits, they only have that dominant, so capital H for no hemophilia, and lowercase h if they have hemophilia. So you, instead of running a Punnett square, you can draw these diagrams. So this is our parent generation here, 1. This is a female who's a carrier, right? Because she's got half of it filled in. She's a female and she's a carrier. And that would be right up here. And this is a male who does not have the trait, which means he's a male, which means he has to be capital H and then a Y, which is over here. And you could run the Punnett square, okay? And then you can display these offspring here. If they had 3 kids, you can pick, all right, well, they had a female that was a carrier. That's right here. They took a female that had, female that did not have the trait, which would be right here, and our male that did have the trait. And what if they married someone, a male that had the trait, a male that had the trait, a female that had the trait? You can then run the pedigree from there. And these are the Punnett squares that go along with them. So it's just a different way of representing them. Instead of Punnett squares, you can sort of look like a family tree. You can break it down that way. And then keep putting spouses and mates on with them and keep bringing that family tree down. So just another way of showing this Punnett square. I would say that, where did I go? I'll put up in the Google Classroom next week a genetics assessment similar to what I would have done in school. Not exactly, because it's a little bit different here. And you can take that assessment. Maybe I'll give you a Monday, if you're the studious type, to look over your stuff and remember all your genetics things. And then I'll put the the genetics assessment up, and let's see how you do on the genetics assessment, and we'll see how it goes. We're coming into our last week of school next week, and kind of exciting, kind of a downer too, but we'll forge on and finish up genetics this week, and then we'll have some fun next week too. All right, everyone, enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend in the yellow phase, whatever that means. All right, bye.